Are you wondering why that scale isn't going in the right direction? Well, here are my top 3 reasons why your weight loss plan doesn't seem to be working.
So you came here 'cause you wanna be a star.
Hi guys, I'm Sean LaFlock, founder of Flock Fitness. My number one reason why people aren't seeing changes on the scale is that they're measuring on the scale. Body weight and body fat and lean muscle mass, it's very challenging for you to see what your body composition changes are, especially in the short term when you're just using a scale. This is especially important for those of us who are just starting out with a fitness routine along with a new diet or nutrition plan. Reason being is that as soon as you start to do any physical activity after not doing physical activity for quite some time, is that you're going to start putting on some lean muscle mass. That actually increases our overall body weight. While also doing a diet, that should be decreasing your body fat. But most likely what happens is we kind of have like a stalemate between the two of them. As we're increasing our lean muscle mass, our body fat starts to deplete, and the scale kind of doesn't seem to budge very much. So if you're just starting out a exercise routine and you're also doing a new diet or nutrition plan, just be aware of this happening. One way to mitigate this is having different ways of measuring your progress. The 3 that I love is using a tape measure to kind of give yourself defined and specific metrics: arms, hips, waist, chest. Those are a few that I like to use. Either a pair of jeans that you like or a sport coat, put that on, take a picture, or just feel it. And obviously that's a pretty objective way of whether or not you're actually making those changes. And then lastly, before and after progress pictures are another good way of telling if your body composition is changing over time. The second reason why it seems like your plan might not be working is that you're blowing your caloric deficit on the weekend. So whenever I sit down with somebody and start a nutrition plan, the underlying thing that we're trying to understand is that it is a calories in, calories out at the end of the day for most people. And what happens is people do great, or individuals do great throughout the week. They're spot on, their schedule is perfect. And then the weekend comes, and this is where the ideas of cheat meals and cheat days start to fall in. The problem with this is that you can very easily blow your caloric deficit that you accumulated through the week on the weekend. Just think about it. All of a sudden, you go out to dinner, you have some drinks, and then you're 3,000 calories over where you were. Throughout the week, you had a 3,000 calorie deficit, and all of a sudden, that deficit is gone because you kind of overindulged on the weekend. This is something that I commonly see, and then when we start to really address the issues on the weekend, that's when we start to see the scale go in the right direction. So just be aware, just because it's the weekend, that doesn't mean that you throw your nutrition plan out the window. And if you're doing a proper nutrition plan as is, you shouldn't have to go crazy on the weekend. It should not be overly restrictive throughout the week. You should be able to enjoy yourself with healthy food in moderation. The third reason why a nutrition plan may not be budging the scale is that you may not be accurately tracking your macronutrients and calories properly, specifically with fat. Fat is a very highly caloric dense macronutrient. And what happens is people kind of neglect the fact that nuts are very high in fat and cooking oils are very high in fat. And we kind of just like use these and really don't track how much we're actually doing. A few handfuls of nuts can blow through your caloric deficit very quickly. Adding extra oil into the pan can go through your caloric deficit very quickly. So you've got to be super diligent, especially when you're adding in fat to measure out everything that you're using, especially in the beginning, so you can kind of like assert a good path going forward. And that should allow you to have more accurate calorie and macronutrient calculation, and that will get you going in the right direction. Guys, if you like this video or you learned something, make sure you subscribe, like it, and maybe leave a comment below of what you learned. I'm Sean LaFlock, founder of Flock Fitness, and I'll see you next time.